Hey everybody, it's me, Wally, for ERA Decker Real Estate. It's called Ask the Realtor live at lunch. How are you? By the way, I want to let you know, coming up next week, we probably won't be having one of these because it's between Christmas and the New Year. But coming up in the New Year, by the way, we have got some new things that are going to be happening. We're going to be taking this particular show on the road. Lunchtime, we'll be out at different locations. I've so far gotten the yay and the okay from Cup of Joe on Upper Front Street. We'll be there live. Also, we'll more than likely be doing a show from the Red and White / Giuseppe's Pizza down in Shenango Bridge. Two people have said, yeah. So listen, if you got a place of business, perhaps maybe you sell coffee or you've got some lunch products or whatever it may be, we can do this for about a half an hour once a week or once a month, rather, for your place of business. So we have no problem doing it. Gary Klein did one at his place. Gary Klein's an attorney at Coughlin and Gerhardt, so we were live from his place once before as well. We've had guests come in here too, but we want to get out and kind of be with the people out on the road, so to speak. Adam and Donald McManus, hey, how are you? Joe Nurchi and Debbie Jean, hey, how are you? Dan Dempsey, glad to have you along. Rita, Joy Kinney, Ketchum from up where I live. Tom Schatz, thank you very much. Listen, we're going to be going a little bit quick today, and we will probably not be doing a full half an hour just because I need to get out of here. So if you got some questions, make sure you write it down there in the comment bar down below. It's either that way on your computer or probably down below on your phone. So let's just get to this. So I've got some questions I want to get to first, but I want to tell you, we got something big happening on January 1st, so I want to let you know what's happening with that, with my real estate business on January 1st. And if you're one of my clients, then this directly affects you. So we'll be getting to that in just a second. So let's just open up the questions. So we do this, and we ask people to write in, and we got some questions here. We got some people that wanted to ask some questions on different things. So, and this is all going to be tied together, just so you know. So Tom from Vestal wrote in last week, and he said, hey, Wally, what's some of the biggest regrets that first-time home buyers have? I'm not exactly sure what was experienced in Tom's world because he didn't really say that to me. I got to tell you, sticker shock probably number one because it's always what you don't know. Now, there's so much going on in the home buying process that you forget different things that are told to you. Sometimes you're not told, but we try to make sure that you understand all the costs involved all the time. There's just so much being barraged at you. And sometimes real estate professionals, along with attorneys and banks, I mean, the attorneys and banks do this. They do a pretty good job of this. But there's so much stuff coming at you. We forget that this is your first time doing this. We try not to, but we tell you a whole lot of stuff. And sometimes we don't see the glare behind the glass that you're not really understanding what we're talking about here. So we'll slow it down. By the way, just so you know, I am an associate real estate broker with ERA Decker Real Estate. We're out of Whitney Point, New York. Does that mean that's all I sell is houses in Whitney Point, New York? No, not so much. It means I can sell houses to you or for you in any part of New York State, with the exception of the state of intoxication. I just read the whole thing this morning about Governor Cuomo wanting to legalize marijuana for recreational use in the great state of New York. My opinions are my own. I don't think it's a good idea. Anyway, so let's get right to it. Our phone number here at the wherever I work here, the ERA Decker Real Estate, 607-692-3665. Let's get the legalities out of the way. My cell phone, 725-1446. Glad to have you along. It's called Ask the Realtor live at lunch. We got Tom and Jim and Rhoda and Otis and Steve LaPlante from the great state of Massachusetts. Did they legalize marijuana in Massachusetts, Steve? I'm not sure yet. Also, James Finch and Sally and Lisa Lee, thanks for joining us. So, yes, Tom from Vestal, had to see his name, wrote this. What's some of the biggest regrets for first-time homebuyers? It's definitely the money. It's definitely the not knowing what you're up against. Why is that? Well, we tell you everything that you need to know, but there's so much. There's a laundry list of stuff. And let's face it, when you go to a closing, this is, after about 15 minutes, buyers, this is all you're going to be doing. That's it. After a while, that signature that you have that looks really nice and neat to begin with, it actually turns out to look like this at some point because you've just signed so many damn papers. So, yeah, I think, you know what, they say that the first year that you're in a house is the toughest, and I'm going to tell you, they're correct. I was there once. If we ever go there again, it might seem like because I do this all the time that I'll be one step ahead of the game. I'll be behind the 8 ball again because my signature when I'm signing on the dotted line is going to look like that, and I'm going to be just happy to get the keys. Let's all move in. Next thing you know, other things are going to start cropping up. But during the home buying process, some things that you may not know about, or some things that you have some buyer's remorse. Let me go this. Some things that you might have buyer's remorse for when you're buying your house. Now, I'm pulling off some statistics right here from the National Association of Realtors, and this all certainly makes sense. That one of the biggest regrets that first-time homebuyers get is buying a house that's too small. Why? Because you're looking for your pocketbook. You're going, how much money can I afford each and every month? Because really, isn't that what really matters? You're in an apartment. You can afford $850 a month with that. Yeah, I'd like to have my payments be about the same. Oh, they're $895. Couple cups of coffee less a month. Yeah, I can swing it. But you end up buying a house that's too small. When you really know you could afford a bigger one, you just didn't want to have to pay that monthly payment. And I get that. So baby boomers, 22% of you say buying a house too small is a big one of the big regrets. First-time homebuyers. Gen Xers, 20%. Millennials, also 15% of you say, that's a big one right there. Other people regret not saving enough money. Why? Because, you know, you have extra money in the bank. You know that it's going to cost this much for the down payment, this much for all the fees and stuff that we're going to get to in a little bit, by the way. So you should have this much money left over, only you find out that once you get in a house that some of the things needed to be repaired that you didn't know needed to be repaired, didn't show up on a home inspection report, or you just thought, well, it's not that big a deal, I can handle it myself. You know, how much can putting a septic system cost? About $10,000. So anyway, not saving enough money, everybody across the board. About 15% of you first-time homebuyers go, yeah, that's a big regret. I didn't save enough money for this thing. How about this? Understanding how much home buying requires. National Association of Realtors say that about 14% of first-time homebuyers, doesn't matter if you're a baby boomer, Gen Xer, or millennial, about 14% of people that are first-time homebuyers are going to say, we didn't understand about the home buying and how much it requires and how much money and all the process. It's just because you guys don't do it every day. You know, we as real estate professionals, we do it. We tell you about it. I know I'm really good, at least I think I am, about almost, you know, hitting the head of the horse too much because I want to make sure that you understand everything that's going on. But still, you guys are enamored by the walls and where you're going to put the baby, and if the garage is too big or too small, or if you even have one or how much to build one, that sometimes you forget about all of this stuff. Okay, so yeah, having money left over after closing certainly helps you be able to do some of these things, but sometimes you don't really understand, and sometimes it's the fact you don't want to ask the questions because you don't want to seem like you're dumb. I was there. Trust me. Not everybody understands this whole process truthfully all the way through, so there you go. You have to ask more questions, and we can only help you as much as we can. But if you don't understand, don't ask the questions, then we can't really help you about that. Julie, thanks for joining us. Tammy Ray, my friend, another real estate broker out of Harpersville, Afton area. She's pretty good. Marcia and Marty, thanks for joining us here today. Great. Nancy, Felter, and Julie, thanks for hanging out with us. Ask the Realtor live at lunch. January 1st, some big stuff happening, so I'm going to tell you about that coming up here in just a little bit. Also, some things from first-time homebuyers, their big regrets. Not doing enough research. That kind of goes with the whole not understanding the whole home buying experience and actually underestimating what it's going to take to do it. Sometimes these things go crazy and they take crazy left-hand turns. Why anybody would want to try to buy a house or sell a house on their own is beside me. We do this every day. It's like going, I love this whole thing. You're a first-time home buyer and you decide you're going to go on out and do the home buying process. Here's one thing that people don't realize. that if you have an agent work with you, it's probably not going to cost you any money. Why? Because the seller pays the commission traditionally in this area, this state. That's right. And if you're a home seller and you say, look, I don't want to pay the commission, so I want to save myself some money. I'm going to put the coin back in my pocket. I don't have to pay it. So how hard is it? I sold cars and stuff like that. It's easy. It's just the same thing, just more money. Yeah, not really. At some point, you're going to wish that you would have called me to be able to help out on this thing, because these things take crazy left-hand turns, and banks say they want certain things done. You don't understand how that is, and who are you going to get to fix what needs to get fixed? It's all craziness. Hire a reputable realtor. So not doing enough research. Yeah, first-time homebuyers go, no, we didn't do enough sometimes. Just under 10%, by the way. 6-7% of you say, hey, that's one of the regrets we did. We didn't do enough research. Buying the first house you go see, that falls into that. Buying the second house you see falls into that as well. Look, and you don't have to go see 35 houses. You can do what they do on TV, because let's face it, on television, they only show you 3 houses, then you got to buy one. I wish more of you would do that with me. Just saying. Anyway, any regrets? Right about 12% of you, especially the older ones, baby boomers especially, they're the highest ones, say they've got no regrets on buying their first home. These are all first-time home buyers. So that question came out of Vestal. Tom asked that question, biggest regrets of first-time home buyers. Those are some. Do you have any yourself? You can write them in the comment section, or just hit me up on a message. You can even tell me not to use your name. That's what we should do. We're hiding the names to protect the innocent. January 1st, big day. Not only are you going to be nursing a hangover, maybe, and it'll be the new year, you get to write a brand new number 9 on the back end of your checks, which some of you will forget. Hey, Sue, I'm going to call you later today, by the way. I need to call Sue Brink. Somebody make a note of that. So Herb and Nicole, thanks for joining us. Ask the Realtor live at lunch today. January 1st, we got some big news coming up on that one. Okay, so Jess from Shenango Bridge wrote this question. Let me see what it says. What are the extra housing costs if you're a buyer? So, okay, the house costs you $100,000 or whatever, and your interest rate is 5 point whatever percent. So what are the other costs involved in buying this thing? Typically, it's this. You got home inspections are going to cost you probably around $500, depending if they have to do a septic or whatever kind of test. Those costs, and every little test costs a little bit more money. And being that we're in New York State, everything costs you a little bit more money, right? So typically, about $500 or so is where that is. Different people charge you a little bit different on that. The appraisal fee, banks charge typically between $200 and $425. It's a big swing. It's $225 depending on the bank. Shop around, people. Get the best rate you can. Title services, what does that mean? That means if they have to go through and update your abstract, the attorneys usually do this, but if you have to hire an out-of-town firm to do that, and usually the attorneys will take that too. Remind you, if you don't have your abstract, when you're selling your house, and this goes to home sellers, I should say, so when you don't have your abstract, it's going to cost you some extra money. Look for that piece, that thick book that is the history of your house. If you don't have it, get ahead of the curve, go get one done. Because you don't want the last thing to hold up your closing that you want to close in 2018 to be, I can't find my abstract. What do I do? What do I do? Well, we're going to have to send it on out to a title company. How long is that going to take? Don't know. That's what you're going to get. So, and that's typically $300 to $700 for that. All right. Thanks, Jess. How about a survey? If you have to have a survey done, typically in Broome County, the buyers will be paying for the survey, and that will range a whole gambit of money depending on how big the property is and how many jigs and jags and zags and zigs they have in the property. So I'm not even going to give you, this says a typical, this is from the National Association of Realtors. Typically, they say $400. I wouldn't bank on that. I'd call and get an estimate done. An application fee to, they charge you money to fill out a piece of paper. How much is my application to get this loan to sign my life away forever for 30 years? What's that going to cost me? According to National Association of Realtors, $75 to $300. So different banks are different things, and they have different fees. So I would check with them before you go out and get your mortgage. Just try to get the fees and get the right handle on the things that you need to have a handle on. Those are just some of the fees, and those are just a couple of the questions that we had asked just from Shenango Bridge. And who was it? Tom? Tom from Vestal? I turned the page over. So what's coming up in 2019? Okay, I got a message for you. Whether you're selling a home or you're looking to buy a home, this is going to be important for you, by the way. Name of the show is called Ask the Realtor Live at Lunch. I'm required to do that a few times. Why? Because people tune in and go, what the heck is he doing on this Facebook today? What is the name of that? I work at ERA Decker Real Estate. Obviously, you can see that I'm an associate real estate broker. So on January 1st, which is coming up a week from today, a week from yesterday, or 2 weeks from today. January 1st, we'll just say that. January 1st is a brand new day, and it's a brand new year, 2019. You get to write that down on all your checks if you can remember to do that. So typically, this is what I see happen on January 1st. From a real estate perspective, on January 1st, we see in the Binghamton Multiple Listing Service, the Broome Greater Binghamton Multiple Listing Service, we see a whole bunch of houses expire off. What does that mean? What does it mean when someone's house is expired? What it means is that their listing contract has ran out on the house. So what does that mean? The house is no longer listed for sale. Is it still for sale? Maybe, maybe not. Typically what happens a lot of times, and this has been always the old school way of thinking, is that you know what, typically your listing contract runs for about 6 months, depending, and it's really up to everybody. You can write it for whatever you want to. So typically what happens is you go and you do the month, and you go, okay, April, May, June, July, August, September, okay, and then we re-up it. So if your listing contract runs for 6 months, and they write down the listing contract date of whatever it is, then it expires that day, and you can either relist it or do whatever. A lot of times what happens is people go, well, why don't we just put it on till the end of the year? Why? Because no one wants to just count the months and the days, which is ridiculous, I think. Anyway, especially with all these digital calendars we have. But typically what happens a lot of the time is you get a realtor go, well, why don't we just put it on till the end of the year? Because you know what? Come December 21st or December 31st, no one's going to be buying houses after that because it's going to be winter. So why don't we just put that number on at the end? And we'll let it rest after that if we don't get it sold. Then we'll come back on in like April when all the buyers are out there and the flowers are starting to bloom. And that's the typical time we'll do that. So what happens then? Your house is not listed for sale for January, February, March, and then maybe in April we'll put it back on the market again. Okay, great, because that's when all the buyers are there. What happens if you've got buyers looking for houses in January, February, and March? If your house is not listed for sale, you got a 100% chance of not getting it sold. I've found this out to be true, that usually people are still looking for houses. Are they going to come out to an open house when it's 20 below zero? Probably not. Will they be sitting in front of their fire looking on this thing that you're looking on and looking for houses or looking on their lunch break? Yeah, they are. And guess what? If they find the house that they really like, they're going to come out, regardless of the weather, to see that house, and maybe you'll get a sale out of it. So you might say, Wally, do you sell houses in the wintertime? Heck yeah, we do. Why is that? Because we don't take 3 months off during January, February, and March. At least I don't anyway. Here's what I found. January 1st is a huge day for houses to expire off the market. What does that mean for you? It means that your competition just went from this to this. So if they don't have another 4 houses on your block to choose from, and that's where they want to be as a buyer, and yours is the only house listed for sale, and it's listed at a competitive price, and it's neat and it's clean and neat and tidy, and it looks good, guess what? If they want to buy a house, yours is the one they're going to buy. Yep. Today, I'm going to tell you, today, we have 917 houses on the market in the Greater Binghamton Multiple Listing Service today. That's as of today, this Wednesday, December 19th. Today, I've seen a bunch of houses come off the market. A bunch of houses have been withdrawn or have expired off the market in the last couple of weeks. A couple of weeks ago, we were at 947. So we're down a bit. We're down to 917. My prediction is this. We're going to see between 100 and 150 houses come off the market by January 1st. So what does that mean? Less competition. So that means we're going to have between 817 or maybe possibly as low as 767 houses on the market for sale. That's not a lot. We got a ton of people that are still looking for houses. I've got 5,000 buyers sitting back looking for the right house. Has it been a buyer's market? It sure has. If your house is not on the market, are you going to get it sold? No, not really. So my thought process is this. January 1st, I'm getting to it. January 1st, every year for the last several years, don't tell anybody else, but this is what I do. On January 1st, I reduce the price of houses that I have for sale, and I make a big deal about it on Facebook and on Instagram. I make a big deal out of it. You know why? Because you're sitting there, people pick dates to do things by. People say, hey, January 1st, I'm going to go on a diet. Stop it. I will. I'm going to go on a diet. I'm going to stop smoking. I'm going to get in shape. I'm going to buy a house. January 1st. Oh, guess what? Instead of having this many houses on the market, oh my God, there's only this many houses on the market. Wait a minute. Wally says that they've just reduced the price of this house from this to this. Here's another house that he's reduced. $5,000 off that? Wow. Here's another one. Wow, they reduced the price $10,000? Hey, Martha, maybe we should come here and take a look at this thing on the iPad. Oh, my head hurts. That's what goes on January 1st. January 1st, you're going to see an enormous amount of houses off the market. You're going to see most all the houses that I have listed. I've got 28 listings right now. Someone asked me that the other day. They said, how many listings do you have? I said, 28. They went, oh my God, really? Why is that? Because we moved them. That's why we do this. We ask our people, hey, look ahead of time, can you take a price reduction? Would you like to do that on this day? The answer is usually yes. Why? You got taxes that are coming up. Does anybody want to pay a whole new year worth of taxes? Heck no. You've got fuel in the wintertime you got to pay for. Do you want to pay for more fuel? Not really. Would you rather have that somebody else paying those taxes and those fuel bills? Yeah, you would. So that's the motivation level. So we have a strategy, and it's not just let's put our house on the market, let's put a yard sign out in the yard, and then let's not do anything. Let's wait for the phone to ring. Look, it's actually having a strategy. So the strategy is this. While there are others that are sleeping for 3 months and not listing houses, or they're not doing anything with the listings, they're just not there. While that's happening, let's take advantage of the fact that there is a lot less competition against your house. These are the things that I lay awake at night thinking about, trying to be able to get your house sold. So pick your times, pick your dates, pick your battles. This is a good one to be able to have. So be watching on my Facebook page, both my Facebook and my Facebook Instagram account, I shouldn't say Instagram, and also my business page. We're going to be popping this stuff out there. I also own something called, or part owner of What's Up Green, What's Up Shenango, also own The Point in Whitney Point. So we have a bunch of Facebook places that we put all this stuff, and we make a big deal out of doing that. So, and it really helps our clients a lot. Why? Because we take a look at what goes on, and then we react. We have a plan to be able to react on a moment's notice to be able to help you get your house sold. So with that coming up with a new year, by the way, why is it important to reduce the price of your house? Why? Because you want to get it sold. That's why. If you've got, widgets sitting on the shelf at your store and no one's buying the widgets at $10.95, maybe you should put them on at $1 or $9.98. Maybe they'll start buying them. We need to move the cheese a little bit here. Also, 2019, it's rumored that the interest rates are going to be going up. So as a person buying a house, what does that mean to you? You're like, uh-oh, if that happens, I may have to spend more money, right? You don't get as good a rate, right? It also means that you can afford less house, because it all comes down to your monthly payments, doesn't it? If you had a $100,000 loan on your house, if you bought a house worth $100,000, let's just use round numbers because I went to Shenango Forks. I need it being very simple for me. So if you had $100,000 at 5% interest, which it ain't right now, it's more than that, but at 5% interest, that means that your payments are $536.82 a month. Now that's assuming that you didn't put any money down. So it's $536.82 a month. If it moved up a quarter point to 5.25%, your payments now just went from $536 to $552. Doesn't seem like a big number there, but you're only borrowing $100,000. What if you go to $200,000 or $150,000? Then all of a sudden your payments start jumping around. Every time that you go up in percentage point, you're going up about $5.41 on your payment based on a 5% interest rate. So if let's just look at this, every $5,000 you go up, it's $27 more a month. So if you have to buy a house now it's now priced at whatever the price is at $10,000 more, you're spending a lot more money. Listen, here's the deal. Whether you're a home seller or you're looking to buy a home, it's in your best interest to get off the fence and get going on it now. So if your house is not listed for sale, get it listed. If your house is listed, let's reduce the price of it. If you haven't bought a house yet, or if you're just kicking tires and going, nah, I'll do it someday. Someday means a higher interest rate. A couple of years back, the interest rate was at 2%. Now it's at 5.25% or someplace like in there. So what does that mean? Does that mean you can't afford a house? No. I bought my house, it was 10%. I still bought the house and just what do you call it? Refinanced as I had to go. It's still a good time. Interest rates at one time were like 19%. So it's still a pretty good time to buy a house. The thing is, tomorrow may never come. Do not wait forever. The Fed says it'll probably raise the interest rates 2 times this year. Don't wait for the first time to happen. Get out there and get kicking on your house. We can certainly help you. You can certainly message me here on my Facebook page. Of course, you can reach me here at the office or on my cell phone, 607-725-1446. It's called, or you can hit me up on my website, WallyGetsItDone.com. Oh, I'm such a goof today. So it's called Ask the Realtor Live at Lunch. Starting next month, we'll be taking the show on the road. So if you have a place, if you want me to stop by, it's the same time. It's noon till around 12:30. Hit me up, and I can certainly love to stop by and do it from your place of business. Ask the Realtor Live at Lunch. Everybody have a Merry Christmas. We'll see you in 2019. See ya.